Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Greatest Book Never Published, a podcast where we read the greatest book never published. Right?
Yep.
So basically, for a little bit of context, this is a brand new podcast. You need a little bit of context. I am Nim from the YouTube channel Nim TV. For those of you who know that, probably not, because I have zero subscribers. I don't have zero subscribers, but nobody likes my channel, so you probably don't know me from there. But in case you do, and I'm joined by my brother here.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Nate the Great.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel called Nate the Great. So if you know him from there, check him out. What do you do on your YouTube channel?
I don't know, just random stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not much of a focus.
No.
My YouTube channel is like specifically about movies and stuff, and his is just kind of random. But anyways, you might be wondering what is this podcast? What is the point of this? Like, it doesn't make sense. Title seems weird, you know. Basically, when I was a young lad, a 13-year-old, I wrote a book, which, you know, sounds impressive. A 13-year-old wrote a whole book. Yeah, well, it's I guess technically it qualifies as a book. Is it a good one? I don't know. But yeah, it was never published, as the title suggests. And this podcast, we are going to read it and just reveal to the world just the genius of my 13-year-old mind. Does that sound about right?
It does.
Back in the day when I first wrote it, I actually did read it to my brother here.
Yep.
And what were your thoughts on it back then? What did you?
Well, as a 9-year-old, when I first heard you reading it, I thought it was really good. I thought it was a good book.
Yeah. So, from what can you remember about it? Like, what is it about?
It's about these kids who get superpowers, and then they, I don't remember exactly. They fight bad guys or something.
Yeah, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into the details as we go. The first thing I want to do is look at we have a cover page on this, and I might be able to like show some pictures so I'm gonna have a video version of this podcast and an audio version. So if you're watching on YouTube, on my YouTube channel with the video version, I might include pictures of the cover of this right now. If I don't, then that means I forgot to, or I'm too lazy to, or something. I don't know. But I made a cover page. It's not anything too extravagant. The book is titled "The Infection," which sounds very intriguing. I know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the title. The words are in, I don't know what font that is. It almost looks like Comic Sans, but it's not. I don't think it is. It's not Comic Sans, but it's like similar, which is hilarious. And it's green because it's an infection. It's going to be a green chemical substance, I guess. I don't know. And it has, you know, obviously at the bottom of the page, it has my name, you know, the author's name. But the thing I really want to highlight about this cover page is it includes a character quote from the book. So I remember at the time, I thought this, when I came up with this quote, it was the coolest thing ever to me. This was my, you know, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this was. So the quote goes like this. Now remember, like, you know, I will allow you guys to make t-shirts with this on it. I know you're gonna want to buy t-shirts with this quote. So it's just that good.
Mm-hmm.
The big guy must stand up for the little guy, for if he doesn't, the little guys will no longer exist.
Wow, that's inspiring.
That is, see, yeah, that brought a tear to my eye.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, how did a 13-year-old come up with this? That's genius.
I have no idea.
Like, I mean, like, who cares about what Uncle Ben said? No, this is clearly superior. Zach Thompson is the character who said this. Yeah, clearly this is his.
Clearly, he's way more wise than
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll find out that Zach Thompson is not an old man like Uncle Ben. He's a character who's like a teenager, so he's already wiser than Uncle Ben as a teenager. So, well, but like this quote literally is like, it's like the discount version of "with great power comes great responsibility," because it essentially is saying the same thing, but in a much stupider way.
Stupider? Nah.
Well, it's like it's like the off-brand.
Oh yeah, it's like with great power comes great responsibility from Wish.com.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I can't wait till we get to the part where that quote is actually in the book.
Yeah.
But that'll be a while, because we're gonna start off today by reading the prologue. So there's a prologue that's like a few pages, 3-4 page. No, it's really not that long. It's like 2, 3, 4 pages, I think, about. And then what we're gonna do when we get into it is we're gonna read 4 chapters at a time. And the reasoning behind this is that these are very short chapters in this book. The chapters, some of the chapters are only 1 page, some are only like 2. So once we get into this first episode, we're only going to go through the prologue, and then after that, it's going to be 4. And if you want to know the basic format of this book, is that there's 4 main characters, and each chapter is told from a different character's perspective out of those 4 characters. So you get so we'll do 4 at a time, so that way each week we get 1 chapter from each character's perspective. And it'll take probably I think there's 84 chapters. I believe that's about what, 84 chapters. I just looked, so I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
So, let's see the genius of young Nim. Let's see. Prologue. Now, this prologue I wrote long before I wrote the rest of it. So this is probably the oldest thing I wrote. So I actually started writing many other books too. But this is the first thing I wrote out of any book I attempted to write. The other ones I can't find anywhere, sadly. They don't exist anywhere. I had a whole superhero universe created. It was better than the MCU.
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah, I mean,
the MCU sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean, compared to this, I feel like the MCU was basically just copying me.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But a worse version of what I had. So without any further ado, let's begin with the first sentence. The Lee Mansion. Oh wait. Yeah, this is the prologue. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my brain is all over the place right now. The Lee Mansion sat in the darkness of the night, just on the outside of London.
Wow.
I know. I mean, you got to think the opening sentence of a book is one of the most important, because it's the hook.
Yep.
It's the thing that draws you in. I mean, honestly, this isn't a bad first sentence. I'm not even joking here. It's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. It's there's the Lee Mansion sat in the darkness of the night, just in the, it's there's a mansion. It's in London. The wording isn't bad or anything, so off to a good start. I remember when I came up with that opening line, I thought it was pretty great. The mansion was 4 stories high, with 20 rooms on each floor.
Oh.
That's a big mansion. Did I say 4 stories high? Okay. I think I just threw numbers out there because I didn't know how big a mansion normally was. Also, I'm not very good at descriptions. That's one thing we will probably realize in this, is I'm not very good at describing things. So, I just so let's go. On the outside, there were many plants. Wow. And in the front, there was a big water fountain with a large driveway around it. So, yeah, just generic mansion stuff, I guess. About a half mile away from the mansion, there was a helicopter landing pad with a military helicopter on it. I don't know why it's like a military helicopter specifically. Seems weird. Like, this is like some rich dude. He just has a military helicopter.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was only one light on in the mansion. Okay.
Whoa.
Honestly, not that bad of an opening paragraph. I mean, it's like whatever. It's pretty boring, but it's not. I don't know. A limo slowly pulled around the water fountain and came to a slow, quiet stop. The limo door opened, and a man stepped out. He was a tall, thin man, and was wearing a formal black suit and black tie. He had thick black hair. I messed that sentence up. He had thick, black, and nicely combed hair, and his face was extremely serious. I was actually into this until that sentence. I don't know. There's something weird about how I word that. Like, he had thick, black, and nicely combed hair, and his face was extremely serious. But yeah, that's the best way to describe that. Like, I don't know. I could find like a more like his face was serious.
Serious.
He did not have a smile. He looked really fit and healthy, with almost no wrinkles on his pale face. Wow. Almost no.
Almost no. Yeah.
So where's the one wrinkle he has? Just got like a single wrinkle like on his like I don't know like on his nose or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it just has a nose wrinkle.
Just almost no wrinkles on his pale face. Clearly he doesn't see any sun either.
Yeah,
it's just pale face. I guess he's always going to these parties, these night parties, and doesn't. Yeah. So, I just lost my spot in this book.
There's no wrinkles on his face.
Okay, he looked to be about 20 years old, even though he was 29. Wow. So he looks young.
Wow.
That's like me. Everybody always tells me I look younger than I am. I'm not 29, but people are always like, oh, I'm like 23, and people are always like, you look like you're like 18. You could be 16, you know. People say that to me all the time. So that's basically me. He went by the name Mr. Black. And then I have a little parentheses here that says, which wasn't even his real name. I had to make sure.
Will we ever find out what his real name is?
I don't know. I honestly don't even. Probably not. I don't think so. Yeah. So it's interesting because like the rest of the book is like told from the perspective of like a character, but this first part is not. It's just completely like third person perspective or whatever. Is that? I guess that's what you call it. So he went by the name Mr. Black. Yeah, I guess that's the best I could come up with, you know, because he dresses in black. He has black hair. So he's Mr. Black. Mr. Black headed toward the side door of the mansion. Okay. There were two men, one standing on either side of the door. They both had a big build and wore black jeans and black t-shirts. That's like the most creative thing I can think of. They had black jeans and black t-shirts. They were each bald and had no expressions on their faces. What? Like, let me hire my bodyguards. They all have to be bald. They all have to be bald. Like, what are the chances that both of them are bald? And they like if I hire like bodyguards, if this rich guy hires bodyguards, they have to be. If they're not bald, he
shaves their head.
He shaves their head himself. He's just like all right, that's it. It's like you're hired. Initiation. Yeah, it's like hazing for like a frat, but like, you know, to be this guy's bodyguard. Just shave your head. And had no expressions on their faces. Okay. I love how I like have to like explain what expression. I don't know. I feel like that's just Like, who cares?
None of them have expressions on
Nobody's had any expression so far.
They're all just boring.
This is an expressionless world so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's this first chapter is about like a world of like spies and secret agents and stuff. So they don't have expression.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Stop, the man on the left said in a demanding voice. Who are you? Charles Lee, Mr. Black responded. That seems like a lie to me. I don't think he's Charles Lee.
His name was Mr. Black.
Yeah, I don't think he's Charles Lee.
Oh wait, is Charles Lee his real name?
Oh, but that's the name of the mansion is called the Lee Mansion.
Oh.
Oh, so ooh. You can go in, the man said. Oh my gosh. So they didn't ask for any identification. Like, hey, can you show me your ID? Can you like prove to me that you're who you are, who you say you are? No, just I'm Charles Lee. Okay. Because like clearly, like he's very adamant about like, stop. Who are you? He's very adamant that like you can't come in unless you're like specific people. Only specific people can come in. But he's like doesn't even ask for any identification or anything. Just a minute after he entered, another man came up to the door. Who are you? The guard said. Can you guess what this guy's gonna say?
Oh, I have no idea.
Charles Lee, the man said. Wait a minute, the guard said, puzzled. I bet these guards feel pretty stupid right now.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't ask for identification. Oh no. So you know how like in books when it's like the same chapter but it like skips ahead a time period, they have like the little dots in between it, or like it has like a space in between the paragraphs. Yeah, that's what happens now. So this is like inside. All right. So there was a party going on in the mansion. It was a victory party for Justin Lee. Ooh, do you think he's related to Charles Lee?
Is it his dad?
I don't know. I don't actually remember who Charles Lee is. I think he was just supposed to be some random Lee person in the Lee family.
Oh, okay.
Justin Lee is the Lee who actually matters. Okay. He's the important.
He's the rich guy.
Yeah, he's the guy who owns this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a party going on in the mansion. He's the guy who shaves the bodyguards' heads.
Is he?
Yeah. He doesn't hire somebody to do it. He does it himself.
Yep.
It was a victory party for Justin Lee, the man who owned the mansion. He had just won the election to become the Prime Minister of England.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, that makes sense. It said it's just on the outside of London, the mansion. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess that adds up. Lee's father, Daniel Lee, owned the mansion before him. Oh, so now we're going to get a history of the mansion. Like I care. Daniel Lee had become very rich at 21 years old. Wow, when he won the $1 million lottery. That's the best. That's the most interesting way I could come up with how he became rich. He won the lottery, and then, but like only $1 million. He was very smart with his money and was able to make a lot more. Okay. Before he died, he left everything he had to his favorite son, Justin Lee. Poor Charles. Charles Lee is just like...
Yeah.
He's like, nah, Charles, you don't get any of my inheritance. Justin,
you get it all.
You get it all. This Justin got all of his father's inheritance. Mr. Black had just entered the building and found himself in a large room with about 75 formally dressed people in it.
Wow.
Very specific. About 75.
About 75. Not 76, not 74, 75.
What if I did have a more specific number, like 72?
Exactly 73 people were in that room.
Exactly 73. And he could tell just as soon as he walked in that it was 73. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like formally dressed people in it. But there was only one he was looking for. Clara Red. All these people have colors as their last names. Mr. Black. And then this is Clara Red. Miss Red.
Miss Red.
He walked to a corner in the room looking for her. Then suddenly he heard a voice from behind him. Mr. Black. Wait, I gotta do voices for all the characters.
Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. Oh wait. Mr. Black. Mr. Black. I can't do a British accent. The voice said in a British accent. Mr. Black. The voice said in a British accent. It was her. Mr. Black turned around, looking straight at her. I'm just imagining him just creepily turning around, just giving her like a death glare. Like, wow, really nonchalant for like you think like spies would be really nonchalant and very like, you know, but he just looked straight at her to be not suspicious. But no, it was her. Mr. Black turned around, looking straight at her. She was a young-looking, beautiful woman with long, straight, blonde hair. She was wearing an expensive-looking red dress.
Wow.
That's important. Oh, because her last name is Red, so she wears red dress.
Wow. That's like genius writing right there.
Well, it is, because Mr. Black is dressed in black.
And
Miss Red is dressed in red.
Wow.
This is like...
She doesn't have red hair, though.
This is like Clue. Like Colonel Mustard is the yellow one, and like what other ones is it? There's like Reverend Green.
He's wearing green. Scarlet is wearing
Scarlet.
red.
Yeah. I can't remember the other names, but isn't there like a Mrs. White? Yeah. He looked at her for a second. Well, I mean, it does take place in a mansion, which is maybe this mansion is like the Clue mansion.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. No, because there's not a murder. Sadly, this story is not a murder mystery.
Yeah.
He looked at her for a second, then looked around, making sure no one was looking, then quickly reached into his pocket and pulled out a computer chip.
Wow.
You know what's funny though is like it's like a computer chip, you know, probably has some sort of secret information on it.
Mm-hmm.
But why wouldn't you just use like a flash drive? Like, be normal. Why does it have to be like a chip? Like, why not a flash drive or like an SD card or something? Like,
I don't know.
Gosh. I have it here, he quickly said as he handed the chip to Red.
Quietly said, not quickly.
Quietly. I can't read this. He quietly said as he handed the chip to Red. Now, get out of here before someone finds out we're here. This is some pretty serious business. What's on this chip? Alright. She walked away quickly and quietly. Then, a man stepped up on the podium in the front of the room. Up on the podium. There's just something weird about how I wrote that. I don't know why. It was Justin Lee. People cheered.
Woo! Go, Justin!
Thanks for the sound effects. Lee was a handsome man who had a great smile that anyone would love. Okay, so like somebody has an expression finally.
That's good.
All the characters have been expressionless so far.
I'm getting bored with all the expressionless faces.
He had thick brown hair. Everybody has thick hair. What can I say? I like thick things. That's yeah, thick hair. I was basing all the characters' hair on my own hair because I have really thick hair. So
yeah, it's pretty thick.
Lee was a handsome man who had a great smile that anyone would love. He had thick brown hair and wore a black suit and tie. Welcome to my victory party, Lee said. Wait, what's Lee's voice?
Wait, he's British, so
is he
welcome. Yeah, well, he's probably.
Welcome to my victory party. Is he? I don't even know if he's actually. It never says that he speaks in a British accent. Because,
but he won the England's prime minister.
Yeah, but
so
like,
he's probably English.
I'm pretty sure I don't know. We'll find out because there's like a lot of weird things with this character. So we'll see. Welcome to my victory party. Lee said into a microphone. If any British people are watching right now, they hate me. So or listening right now. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Can you do a better British accent?
Welcome to my victory party. I'm Justin Lee. I finally have a smile, unlike everybody else in this book.
That's the best British accent I've ever heard. I know the only reason I won the election is because of the there's a typo in here. I know the reason I won the election. The only reason I won the election is because of the. Okay, well, I clearly wrote of the two.
He stuttered.
Times.
He's like of the
because oh no, he's a very well-spoken guy.
Oh.
He doesn't stutter. Justin Lee does not stutter. This was just my typo. It's okay. Justin Lee does not stutter. That would be uncharacteristic of him. Yeah. I know the only reason I won the election is because of the former Prime Minister's unfortunate death.
Suspicious much?
You're getting a little
Something's
sus
fishy
over here.
Alright.
Something's fishy about that. Fishy and chips because it's British. Fish. Okay.
Wow.
He smiled as he looked on the other side of the room, where a guard stood, nodding his head. Is this guy bald too? Nodding his... I should have wrote nodding his bald head. Every single one of his guards is bald. I'm sorry, but something happened and I must leave early. My butlers will bring out refreshments. Enjoy. Lee said. I feel like there's a better way to word that. I'm sorry, but something happened and I must leave early. Yeah. I feel like something more like something just came up. I don't know. That's just like a weird way to say it. Lee said, then quickly stepped off the podium and walked out the door. Mm-hmm. That's suspicious. He just left his victory party. So suddenly, what's going on?
He's definitely not like an evil overlord or something.
Well, he's not. He's not a bad guy. He's just a rich dude who became prime minister because the former prime minister so conveniently died.
Yeah.
And walked out the door. Mr. Black was puzzled. Why was he leaving so early? He had to figure out. So he quickly walked outside. Okay, this is where it's getting good.
Oh yeah.
Once he was outside, someone grabbed him by the arm. He turned to see who it was. It was the same two guards that were standing next to the door when Mr. Black had entered. Jeez, they caught on to him. Hey, Charles Lee, the guard said sarcastically.
Wait, shouldn't the guard have a British accent too?
Hey, Charles Lee.
Hey, Charles Lee.
The guard said sarcastically. Luckily for us, the real Charles Lee showed up just after you did. He laughed. Showed up just after you did. And we actually checked his ID to make sure he was the real one. We decided to be smart for once. Sorry, these bald heads make us stupid for some reason. I don't know. Something about losing hair makes you lose brain cells or something. Don't try anything, Mr. Black said. I got you outnumbered. See, this is like the where he starts being a badass. So like, he's like the real badass, like secret agent character. Mm-hmm. I've got you outnumbered. He's like the James Bond of this series. Yeah, but like American James Bond because he's American.
He's Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he does do all his own stunts. So
yeah.
The guard said sarcastically. Lucky for us. Okay. Don't try anything. Got you outnumbered. Outnumbered? The guard exclaimed. What's that supposed to... Mr. Black punched the guard in the face before he could finish his sentence. Punched the guard in his bald face. I should have done that. I should have, like, every chance I get referenced the fact that they're bald.
Bald people are gonna hate us.
They're really insecure about the fact that they lost all their hair, and they're like, what? Punched him in the face before he could finish his sentence. Blood flew out of the guard's mouth as he fell to the ground. That's dramatic.
Wow.
Jeez. The other guard swung a power... Wait, blood... I should have wrote blood flew out of the guard's bald face as he flew to the ground. No, the other guard swung a powerful punch at Mr. Black. Mr. Black ducked, then quickly put a foot out and tripped the guard.
Oh, wow.
He fell flat on his back on the concrete. Ow.
Ouch.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Black looked in the distance on the helicopter pad. You know, I don't know. I find it weird that, like, every time I refer to the character, it's always Mr. Black. Like, the first time, like, I feel like after a while that gets kind of weird. Like, maybe, like, just start calling him Black or something. I don't know. Or Mr. Just Mr. Oh, no. Mr. Black looked in the distance on the helicopter pad. Next to the helicopter stood a Jeep.
Ooh.
Jeeps don't stand. They don't have feet. Stood a Jeep. In front of the helicopter stood two men. Next to them stood Lee. The men were holding someone by the arm and pointing a gun at the person's head. It was Clara Red.
Oh, no.
They kidnapped Clara. She has the chip. She has the secret porn stash on the chip. Oh,
what?
I guess I don't know. It's pretty special stuff. I don't know what else is on that chip. They had figured out who she was.
Oh, no.
This is not good, Mr. Black thought to himself.
Really?
I feel like that goes without saying. Like, of course he doesn't think it's good. Do I have to write that he thought that? Now they have the information stored on the computer chip. He also is also in this. So these are like words like, you know how like you put them in italics, or these aren't even to like make them like thoughts instead of regular. Yeah, that's what these words are in. Now they have the information on the computer chip. Again, like, I feel like the audience can figure that out. You don't need to spell it out for them. Mr. Black ran as fast as he could toward the helicopter. After he made it to 10 yards, he stopped as two Jeeps pulled in front of him.
Uh-oh.
10 men with machine guns jumped out of the Jeeps and slowly surrounded him. Oh boy, I remember this. This is a pretty epic scene.
Yeah.
Any last words, spy? One of the gunmen said loudly. Funny thing, Mr. Black responded. I was just about to ask you the same thing. Oh man.
Wow, what a legend.
What a Chad. What an absolute wow, he's the coolest. The gunmen laughed. So you're threatening the man with the gun? He laughed again. Take him out, boys. Or take him out, boys. I can't. That was not a British accent. No.
Take him out, boys. That was kind of.
No, we can't do this. Okay. At the same time, the 5 men in front of him all opened fire.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Black ducked as quickly as possible. He pulled out his small 1911 and picked half of them off within seconds, leaving 5 men. Oh, you know what?
Oh,
I changed it.
Oh.
Because back in the day, I have to mention this. Back in the day, when I first wrote this scene, the way this scene played out is there was 5 people standing in front of him, 5 in behind him, and 5 of them shot. The 5 like in front of him or whatever. He ducked, and then they instead shot the people that were behind him. I did change it at one point because I realized how stupid it was. Okay. Yeah. Dang it, that's disappointing though, because that part was
great. I don't know why you changed it.
Yeah, leaving 5 men. Mr. Black quickly bolted himself up, punching one of the men with extreme power, knocking him out. I don't know why he doesn't just continue using his gun. Like, he has his gun.
What did he say? He shot 5 shots?
Off. Yeah, he pulled out.
Well, 1911s have magazine capacity of 8 shots.
Yeah. So
he said it was a small one, so probably 7 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 4 men that were left raised their guns, opening fire. Mr. Black ducked again. Dude, he's so good at ducking and dodging bullets. Like, these guys never learn.
He just ducks and dodges all the bullets.
Mr. Black ducked again, grabbing the gun that the knocked out man had and opened fired on the form. Wait. I think there was supposed to be a line in here about how he ran out of ammo. But I don't think it's not there. Because, like, that's why he, like, knocked the one guy out and took his gun. Because
you ran out of ammo? Wow, you just forgot that?
Apparently I forgot to include a line about that. I remember... Oh, whatever, it's fine. Grabbing the gun that the knocked out man had and opened fire on the 4 men. He took 3 of them out before the gun was empty. Jeez.
He's just murking these dudes.
Then, in one quick, fluid motion, he jumped up to his feet and threw a fast, powerful side kick right into the man's face, sending him to the ground. At the same second, the man began shooting. Bullets were sent flying at Mr. Black. He jumped off to the side as quickly as possible. A bullet just missed him by 1 millimeter. That's
wow.
very
close.
It's very specific. It was exactly 1 millimeter. Mr. Black is so good that he can tell exactly how much it missed by. He's like, that was exactly 1 millimeter. He kicked the guard in the head as hard as he could, knocking him out. Maybe killing him. Who knows? He doesn't have hair to pad it because he's bald. So, I mean, we all know that all of them are bald. Guards are bald. So, everybody who works for Justin Lee is bald.
Yeah.
Mr. Black looked at the helicopter. It was about to take off. He had to do something quick. But what?
But what?
I don't know.
We'll have to find out.
He can't get that ship. There was no way he could run fast enough. Just then, he looked to the side of him and saw a jeep with no roof. It was one of the jeeps that the gunmen used to catch up to him.
Oh, he's smart.
Mr. Black, yeah, real smart. He used the vehicle that's sitting there. Wow.
It's conveniently sitting right next to him.
Well, it's the one the gunmen used to pull up to him. They drove up to him, yeah. So, it's not just conveniently there. There's a reason it was there. I thought this through. I thought this book through, kinda.
Yeah, sure.
Mr. Black ran and jumped into the Jeep. He didn't have a key, so he had to hotwire it.
Whoa.
He knows how to hotwire.
So the guards took the key out when they stopped?
Yeah, they didn't want... If he took all of them out, they didn't want him to steal it.
That was their immediate thought. When they stopped, they were like, instead of just jump out and kill the dude, let's pull the key out first.
Yeah. They totally messed up because they could have easily killed him, let's be real. He was standing, he didn't have like cover, he's just standing in an open like field. He just ducked and then shot him and punched. Dude, these guards suck. Something about the bald heads just really gets to him.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Just then he looked this up. Mr. Black ran and jumped into the Jeep. He didn't have a key, so he had to hotwire it. This was something he had learned when training for the CIA. Yeah.
He works for the CIA? Or used to work for the CIA? Or
potentially.
Something? I don't
know. We'll find out more information. We'll find out more. We don't have to get too into it, okay?
Okay.
He very quickly remembered how to do it. Once he was done with that, he stomped on the gas. Once he got up to 35 miles per hour, he heard another engine from behind him.
Uh-oh.
Someone was following him. He turned his head and saw another Jeep behind him. Dude, what? They just have, like, why did they just buy Jeeps? Like, that's all he's got. That's all his guards got. And they got Jeeps. There were 2 men in it. One driving and the other in the passenger seat with a .45.
Uh-oh.
It's about to shoot him. He began shooting. Mr. Black ducked as low as he could. That's his response. He
just ducks and he's invincible.
Literally, all he has to do is duck.
He's
and
invincible.
Nobody can shoot him. Mr. Black ducked as low as he could and still see where he was going. Bullets were flying just inches over his head. At least it's not millimeters this time.
Wow.
The bullets went on, shattering the glass on the windshield. Glass flew everywhere. Then the shooting stopped. Mr. Black sat up all the way. He turned the wheel as far as he could to the right. The Jeep did a full 180 degrees. What if he flipped the Jeep? What if he accidentally flipped the Jeep? Just
flips.
That would be hilarious. Did a full 180 degrees, the tires scraping against the pavement, making a loud screeching noise.
Sorry, I had to do that.
No, yeah, you can be the
Okay.
sound effect guy.
Okay.
Then Mr. Black stomped on the gas. As he got closer to the other Jeep, the shooting started again. So now the Jeeps are literally driving straight towards each other.
Uh-huh.
They're playing. It's like they're like playing chicken. They're
Yeah.
just like Mr. Black stomped on the gas. As he got closer to the other Jeep, he started shooting again. Bullets flew just past Mr. Black, except one bullet. It hit him in his left shoulder.
Oh no!
Blood dripping down, which was not good. That's not the beginning of it. That's the beginning of a sentence, which was not good. Dude, it sends. Okay, it hit him in the left shoulder. Blood dripping down. Period. Which was not good because Mr. Black was left-handed.
Oh no.
I know. He almost cried out in pain, but was able to hold it in. He was trained to be able to handle pain.
Oh yeah.
The same place he learned how to hotwire, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Black quickly reached into his coat and pulled out a small 1911 with the same one he used before. We know he has one. Like, it makes it sound like it's like something we haven't seen before. Like he used it earlier. Okay. With his right hand and took 2 shots. Neither one of them even hit anything.
That's all he had left because he shot 5 people, so only has 2 shots left.
Oh yeah. He figured it would be too difficult to hit them using his right hand. He needed to be much closer. He ducked again. Mr. Black had to time this just right. If he turned too soon, he would not be close enough, and he would be shot.
Uh-oh.
If he turned too late, he would run into the other Jeep. The Jeeps were getting closer to each other, so he's just gonna like turn at the last second and shoot him, I guess. 100 feet away. 50 feet away. 10 feet away.
Oh my.
My heart's racing. Boom, boom, boom. Just at the last second, he swerved left, shooting his 1911. He took 3 shots. The first hit the window of the Jeep. The second hit the gunman. The third hit the driver.
Wow. That's impressive.
And that's not even his strong hand.
Yeah.
That's his right hand. He's left-handed.
Wow.
The back of his Jeep slammed into the other Jeep, shattering the back lights and crushing the back bumper.
Wow.
Mr. Black had begun heading straight toward the helicopter, which was already a foot in the air. Why is this helicopter taking so long to take off? Dude, this is the slowest helicopter takeoff ever. He could just make it if he went fast enough. He was going about 80 miles an hour by the time he made it to the helicopter. The helicopter was 13 feet in the air.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Mr. Black stood up on the seat of the Jeep and jumped as high as he possibly could and just barely grabbed onto the bottom bar of the helicopter with his left hand. That's when he remembered. He had been shot in his good arm. He's like, he grabs on. He's like, oh yeah, I just got shot in this arm. Like 2 seconds ago, I got shot. Oh, I just remembered. That's when he remembered he'd been shot in his good arm. His arm was in terrible pain, with blood dripping all down his shirt. He carefully and slowly switched to his right hand, but that was not his strong hand, as you've mentioned a couple times already. He would not be able to hold on much longer. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small tracking device and clipped it onto the bottom of the helicopter. Good job. Good job. I mean, what spy doesn't carry a tracking device with them everywhere?
Yeah.
He held on for about 2 more seconds, then let go. He fell 18 feet.
Wow, I only raised 7 feet or 5 feet in that time.
He quickly shifted his body so he would land on his feet. Well, he's already he's already like, it's not like he fell head first. Like he let go, his feet were already at the bottom. He had to readjust. He landed hard. He almost fell backwards, but he was able to catch himself. Twisting his ankle is the only thing that happened to him.
Wow.
Well, and getting shot, but that was not
before.
from a fall. That was from yeah. As he looked up, he saw the helicopter flying away. Now the only thing to do was limp back to the limo.
Wow.
Okay. Mr. Black had just climbed into the limo, where there was a man sitting across from him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a man with him the whole time. Ooh.
Oh, like I couldn't help him.
He was in his late 30s and wore a black t-shirt and black jeans.
This is blue.
Blue?
Learn how to read. Blue jeans.
Dude. Oh my gosh, okay. Wow.
You just think everything's black?
Black t-shirt and blue jeans. That's like the most boring outfit. Like, I just got a black t-shirt and blue jeans. Like, I couldn't come up with something more, I don't know, interesting. He had short gray hair. He had very deep-set eyes. He had a scar running down the side of his wrinkled face that looked a little older than it was. The scar or his face? The wrinkle looks older than it was. The scar looks older than it was. Okay, so his face looks older than it was. Seen some action or something. So his face looks older than it was. Mr. Black's face looks younger than it is. Interesting. He was in his mid-30s. Wait.
Didn't you already say that?
No, I said, like, literally just a second ago said he was in his late 30s and wore a black t-shirt and blue jeans. And then, like, a couple sentences later, he was in his mid-30s. Dude, I thought
it's so important you have to say it twice.
Well, before he was in his late 30s. Now he's in his mid-30s.
Wait.
Which one
is
is
getting younger?
Okay. You can tell this is the rough draft. I didn't proofread it. His name was Adam Fox.
Wow.
Awesome. So we got Mr. Black, Mr. Fox, Miss Red.
Yep.
Some nice names. So, how did it go? Oh, wait. So, how did it go? Fox said in a low voice. Not as well as planned, Mr. Black said. How so? Fox asked as the limo started moving. Well, it started out good. I got the chip to Red, but then Lee just suddenly left. They captured Red and escaped with her. I was able to put a tracking device on their helicopter, though. Fox sighed. In his low voice. He sighs in his low voice. Well, at least we know where they went. There was a long pause. It's time to call the Shadow Man. Mr. Black nodded in agreement. Well, that's a mysterious name.
Wow.
The Shadow,
the Shadow Man.
That's a mysterious name. Okay. Who are you working for? Lee yelled while standing face to face with Clara Red, who was tied to her seat.
Uh-oh.
They're on the helicopter. There were two guards. Two bald guards. No, it doesn't say bald. But we know they are. That's implied. We know they are at this point.
Yeah.
There were two guards, one standing on each side of Red with machine guns in their hands. They had been in the helicopter for about 30 minutes. So he waited 30 minutes to be like, who are you working for? It's like, questioner. He waited 30 minutes.
Wow.
He's like, here, I'll let you relax for 30 minutes, and then we'll get into the questioning. Yeah. In the back of the helicopter was a man sitting at a computer typing with the chip plugged into it.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. So how do you plug, just like what kind of, I still think it would make more sense if it was like a US, like a
flash drive,
like a flash drive, or like an SD card or something. Probably a flash drive.
Yeah.
SD cards are like, She said, "Who do you work for?" She said, "MI6," Red responded, which is like the British intelligence agency, for those of you who don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, is MI6 the one that
Alex Rider works for?
Yeah, but is it the one that James Bond works for, or does James Bond work for MI5?
I don't know. I haven't.
Wasn't there like a thing where like MI6 wasn't real, but it was made up for something, but like MI5 was the real one? I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter.
No.
MI6 responded. Red responded. "Liar!" Lee yelled as he slapped Red in the face.
Ouch. Abusive much.
Wow. That's you had to do your sound effects. "Sir, I have found something," the man at the computer said. "I will talk to you later, spy," Lee said as he walked over to the man at the computer. "What have you found?" "The only way to get in is if you have the codes.
Mm-hmm.
It's encrypted," or something. I don't know. It's not what it says.
Do we have them?
Do we have them? Yeah, why would we have them? No, there's only one man who does. "Who?" "A scientist named John Thompson. He works for the CIA.
Oh no.
Find out everything you can about him. He's the one we should be after." Lee looked over at Red. "If you don't talk, maybe he will." That's the end of the prologue, and wow, that took us a while to read.
Just a bit.
That
was exciting.
I
cannot wait
Yeah.
for the next episode.
So from that was a third person perspective. From now on, they're all going to be first person perspective from our four main characters who we haven't met yet. We haven't met our four main characters yet, so that's exciting. That'll be next time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That'll be fun. So, what have we learned from this? Guards
are
bald.
Always.
1911s
apparently have more rounds than 7 rounds now.
I guess. I mean,
because he shot it like.
Well,
10 times.
He had a specially designed magazine.
He had an extended mag.
He had an extended.
That, like, sticks down 3 inches or something.
Yeah, to hold like 3 extra bullets.
It said. Then he pulled out a small 1911.
Yeah, but like it had an extended magazine.
So the mag just like sticks way out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's got some spy stuff, so that's cool. It's like
pretty awesome.
It's like a superhero story, but like a superhero spy story. So.
It's like a superhero spy thriller comedy romance book.
It's got everything you could
ever want
from from a story. So, all right, that's it for the first episode. Definitely check out more. I don't know if we have like an upload schedule or anything yet. So there'll be another episode at some point.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Goodbye.